Good morning, everyone. I'm so delighted to be here this morning to talk to you a little bit about the ways in which we at Toronto Public Library are transforming public library service and managing change for the 21st century, and how we're positioning ourselves in meaningful and lasting impacts so that we have impact on the city and the residents we serve. So this is a really exciting time to be working in public libraries. I hope all of you feel that way as well. This is a time when many sectors are talking about the critical importance of the knowledge economy, when there's exponential change and technological disruption. More than ever before, this is a time when we have to be change agents, collaborators who look beyond traditional allies and partners and actively challenge the status quo, and build organizational capacity for innovation. I'm very optimistic and excited about the future of public libraries. And a big reason of why I'm so excited is the way in which libraries are being recognized as catalysts for our city's success and our neighborhood's resilience and renewal. We've heard about that already this morning. We offer unique value to our communities, supporting broader civic goals and contributing to wide-ranging community impacts. But to meet the challenges and opportunities of the 21st century, public library transformation is essential, requiring thoughtful and innovative strategies to successfully lead an organization through change. And so I'm going to start a little bit about telling you about the city that our library serves. Toronto is one of the most dynamic cities in the world. It's the fourth largest in North America. With a booming economy, a growing tech industry, and an educated workforce, we are Canada's leading economic engine and a global leader in technology, culture, and innovation. Our diversity is tremendous, and we provide access to healthcare, education, and social services, making Toronto one of the best cities to live in. But of course, along with those opportunities, there come so many challenges as well. The high cost of living and lack of affordable housing is a real challenge, along with growing income inequality and poverty, and their widening divides in our city. There's an increase in extreme weather, which we heard just a little bit about, less job security, and I can speak to this myself, much more traffic congestion, which is a big, big problem in Toronto. And despite living in a hyper-connected world, many Torontonians are feeling more isolated than ever before. When I think about the transformation and the change journey libraries are on, I realize that while the internet was a huge catalyst of change globally, it was also a really significant turning point and impetus for change in libraries, offering challenges for sure, but also opening up a world of opportunity. And as next generation technologies and trends have grown with things like social media, AI, and big data, so too have grown our opportunities for an even greater relevance and value. This, of course, is not the traditional line of thinking. There have been and continue to be all sorts of predictions about libraries becoming irrelevant, our physical infrastructure unnecessary, and traditional books no longer wanted. In fact, just the opposite has happened at TPL. We have 18 million visits annually to our 100 branch locations, and while the growth of borrowing ebooks and other e-content has been exponential, physical items such as traditional books are still hugely popular. So while the internet and all things digital have been catalysts for change in the library, it's really not about the technology itself, but the ways in which it has fundamentally altered the wants and needs of the people we serve, the individuals and communities of Toronto, and the city itself. In fact, focused on achieving what we need to achieve for our customers is what's really driving our transformation, as it always should be. And the outcomes we've summed up for our customers in 3 words: success, resilience, and well-being. And it's these outcomes that we're focused on delivering for Torontonians, and that's also driving our transformation. Our guidebook for transformation is our new strategic plan. It's called TPL, Vital to Toronto, Building Success, Resilience, and Well-Being for Our City. And it speaks to the 3 outcomes we've set out to achieve. So why the library? Toronto Public Library, like all libraries, has the vital active ingredients to help Torontonians thrive in our city. This goes beyond our people and programs and services and resources. We're uniquely positioned to serve our city and residents by creating value through the experience that are accessible, we're free and local, reaching people where they live. Inclusive, we're supportive and welcoming for all. Expert, we have knowledgeable expert staff. And flexible, our services are personalized so people can use us where, when, and how they like. And I think it's important to understand and to think about this because I think it's sometimes overlooked, that there's no other public institution that has the mandate and reach, physical and technological infrastructure, talent and community presence to empower Torontonians the way the public library does. At the core of our plan, we have 5 strategic priorities which are listed here. And in addition to that, we're making a commitment to focus on equity in everything that we do, to understand and break down barriers to access and to increase inclusion. And despite living in one of Canada's wealthiest cities, not all residents have equal access to the economic, educational, health, and social opportunities that are so critical to succeed and thrive in our city. So we're committed to helping level the playing field with a particular focus on equity-seeking groups and vulnerable populations. Also fundamental to our plan are what we call enablers. And these are foundational and organizational supports that we're going to be focusing on to help us deliver on our outcomes and our transformation agenda. They are strategic partnerships, modernization, and a framework for evaluation and accountability. So the question, of course, is how will the plan drive the library's transformation so that we can help make Toronto successful, resilient, and well? Well, first off, our first priority is about public space. Toronto's population and urban density are increasing. We heard in our public consultations that many Torontonians don't have easy access to free public spaces that are comfortable and welcoming where they can work, relax, and come together with others in their community. And as a result, many are experiencing a feeling of social isolation and a lack of community connection. So with social, economic, climate, and technological disruptions, people need public spaces that foster community resilience as well as places of refuge. The dearth of opportunities for meaningful connections is really adversely affecting personal well-being, civic involvement, community engagement, and overall social cohesion. And so we're focused on opening up our public spaces, creating and animating accessible, inclusive spaces that are flexible and sustainable, which will inspire Torontonians to be and grow together. And of course, welcoming space is something that we've always offered in public libraries. This is nothing new. But what is new is the different ways our customers expect to use our spaces in our branches and online, and seamlessly moving between the two. That's what's driving our transformation. Public space is no longer just a means to delivering services. Public space is a service in and of itself. Like many institutions, public libraries are transforming their public space, renovating and designing to create a wow factor. Flexible space, and not only to support many different uses, but also to anticipate changes in the future. And with that transformation, increasingly, public libraries are a third place, a home away from home, often referred to as an urban living room and home office. Beautiful, welcoming, and safe public space which revitalizes neighborhoods. Our second priority is helping people survive and thrive through ongoing digital disruption. In our digital world, access to technology and skills to navigate and use it are critical for all of us to be successful, connected, and well. Today, technology and the internet are available but can be expensive, and ways to understand and use them are not always easy to access, resulting in a digital divide that impacts people's daily lives. And so we continue to focus on broadening digital access and inclusion for all Torontonians. And I just want to pause because I think this is such a critical and central role that public libraries play today, and a really huge part of our transformation. Access to information and pathways to learning. If you think about it, they were the great equalizers of the 20th century. But of course, they're still critical in today's world. But in the 21st century, access to technology is just as important. No one can be successful in today's world unless they have access to technology. So it's not surprising that a huge part of the transformation of modern library service is about providing access to and comfort with new and emerging technologies, providing access to information, teaching digital literacy with coding and STEM classes, bridging the digital divide, and providing the connectivity so vital to today's social and economic success, making sure no one gets left behind. And that's something we talk about a lot, making sure that no one gets left behind. Tied really closely to the opportunities and challenges created by digital disruption is the changing workforce and the economy. Many of us are moving between different roles and industries throughout our careers, and the need for reskilling and upskilling is rising. People of all ages need flexible ways to access tools to develop new skills while navigating their education, workforce, and life transitions. This access is critical for us to reach our full potential and contribute to the success of the city. And so a big focus for libraries is to help build pathways for workforce development, and this is our third strategic priority, to empower our customers to succeed in a changing workforce and a changing economy. Libraries have always offered, of course, career and job search supports for a long time. But what's different is our customers' changing needs and expectations are driving our need to innovate. Certainly, technology is a big driver, but also are the ways our people living and working require us to think differently, not only about what services we need to offer, but also the ways in which we offer them. So let's think a little bit about e-learning. This is something we've offered for many years, and it's become a significant way we offer flexible, self-directed, and convenient workforce development services with free access to online learning resources such as lynda.com and Gale resources being some of our library's most popular services. But now we're thinking about e-learning differently. We know that people learn in many different ways, and studies show that in-person learning combined with e-learning is much more effective than e-learning on your own. So we offer in-branch learning and study opportunities in conjunction with our online learning. So, for example, we have a Cisco program that's called Let's Learn Tech, and with free online courses. And what we've done is we've introduced learning circles that meet twice a week. And people come together through the online material in a group setting at the library to learn together. Then we also have an Entrepreneur in Residence program, which is another learning and networking model which offers help for small businesses with workshops, seminars, and one-on-one consultations. And to further expand our reach and convenience, we have community librarians who work in the city's employment offices, and they are going there to where our customers need us to be, rather than requiring them to come use our services at the library. Our fourth priority has to do with a democratic society, and this is one that I feel very strongly about. In Toronto and our world, we're seeing an increasing increasing divide politically, economically, and socially. And there is an overwhelming amount of information available to us, and at the same time, not everyone has equal access to it or the ability to critically assess it. To meaningfully participate in the life of our city, Torontonians need access to a broad range of information and ideas, as well as opportunities for open, uncensored discourse to hear, debate, and learn from each other's perspectives. And so we will provide and protect the vital ingredients necessary for a democratic society. We will facilitate and defend access to information and information literacy and empower everyone to engage in civic life. The role of the library as a facilitator and a defender of democratic values is, of course, nothing new, but its importance and our profile as a library have increased as a result of the challenges and divisions we're seeing today. In the not-so-distant past, the job of libraries to support and defend intellectual freedom meant making books freely available to all. But in the 21st century, the job is much, much more complex. Take, for example, the threat of artificial intelligence to the information access. Its machine learning algorithms not only shape people's online experiences and digital privacy, but act as gatekeepers to the information we see and what's hidden from us, often with a bias that's invisible. In response, we've expanded our digital literacy offerings to include algorithmic literacy programs and courses, which teach people how algorithms impact access to information and ultimately their daily lives and even decision-making. We're also seeing restrictions on equitable access to content and information with ebooks and other popular e-content. High prices and restrictive licensing models are limiting access, often to the most vulnerable and the needy in our communities. So at TPL, we've taken a leadership role with a multifaceted advocacy approach, working with the Urban Libraries Council in Washington, D.C., and the Canadian Urban Libraries Council as well. And our activities have generated awareness, and we've gotten a good deal of media attention, but I'm sorry to say that publishers have not moved an inch in terms of their position on access to ebooks and other forms of e-content. Access to information and information literacy are critical to a democracy, but also so is civic engagement. And at TPL, we talk about the library as a civic commons, where people come together as Torontonians, but also as global citizens, to discuss and debate some of society's most pressing issues and ideas, local, regional, national, and international. But it seems today we've forgotten how to disagree with one another, how to engage in polite and civil debate. This is especially problematic given the polarizing times we live in. We see a need to create opportunities for people to come together to civilly discuss differing viewpoints and opinions. So one initiative we've engaged in is creating On Civil Society. It's a new program series in our branches, and it's on our digital platform as well. And it's a place where issues can be discussed openly and without judgment. Another innovative initiative we created was to support engaged citizenship. So to address the issues of voter education in Toronto's 2018 municipal election, we created something called Know Your Vote TO, Canada's first library website that allows voters to find easily their ward and candidate information without compromising their privacy. The site garnered more than 23,000 distinct users in the month before Election Day, and the site was recognized by media and candidates as an authoritative information source, with 72% of candidates submitting responses. And this positive recognition demonstrated that the library can strengthen local civic engagement without the perception of partisanship or bias. Public service organizations are operating within an increasingly complex and diverse urban environment. I'm sure everyone in this room finds that. With digital disruption, shifting demographics, and constant change creating both opportunities but also challenges. And this, combined with Toronto's growing economic, digital, and social divides, is changing the kinds of services public service organizations offer, how they offer them, and how their staff need to be trained and supported to deliver them. And so it's critical that we invest in our staff and in the innovative service culture, and this is our fifth priority. And so we've introduced several initiatives to support them. For example, we have staff innovation fairs that we offer, and at one of them, for instance, we had 3 speakers from Google, a virtual reality content developer, and a 3D printing pro come to describe the latest trends in their areas of work. We also have a staff innovation program, and this program offers the staff the opportunity to pitch ideas to improve services at Toronto Public Library, and then we give them the time and resources to complete that idea. In 2017, we established an innovation incubator area at the library, and those people work on digitally focused incubator projects. And pictured on the right of the screen are some of the staff consultations that helps shape an innovation strategy for staff that was developed by the team. At the same time that we launched our staff innovation program, we also launched a deep and broad discussion about the changing role of librarians in the 21st century. And the objectives were challenging but clear. We wanted to develop a vision for the future role of librarians at TPL, which would maximize the values and skills of librarians by enabling them to undertake more complex and in-depth work. And this has resulted in many things, and one of them is a professional curriculum that our librarians are required to complete, different courses they have to complete annually as part of a continuing education program. Another foundational staff support is that we established a change management office at TPL. And there are two key programs that have developed out of the change management office. One is a change management program, which is comprised of multi-days, a series of sessions that staff sign up for. And the second is a leadership development program for all managers, which is a one-day session, and we offer sessions every quarter on things like mentoring, emotional intelligence, political acuity, and other aspects of leadership. I mentioned earlier that we have enablers that are driving our transformation and change to support our strategic priorities. These are partnerships, modernization, evaluation, and accountability. And so, our network of partnerships across the city helps us increase the quality and impact of our programs and services to reach Torontonians whenever they're needed. And these partnerships are large and small. They are made up of local community groups. We also have multinational technology companies that are partners, and we also have innovators in residence, and we have an Indigenous Advisory Council, for instance, all part of an important partnership network. And we're continuously improving our capacity and work culture to provide welcoming, personalized, consistent, and innovative service for Torontonians. And building on our new brand, which we developed and launched last year, our customer experience strategy and digital strategy, we're committed to delivering exceptional customer experiences when, where, and how our customers want them. And so we undertook a process called the TPL Experience 360, which was designed to dive deeper and gain more insight into our customers' changing needs. And there isn't time to describe the work that we did here, but I can tell you the work has helped us understand what is critical to the customer experience in Toronto. Also foundational to supporting the strategic plan is our digital strategy, and it's designed to provide focus on advancing our digital infrastructure and the customer experience and transforming our legacy technologies. And then, of course, there's evaluation accountability, such an important part of the work that we do. Consistent evaluation reporting will ensure that we make decisions based on evidence, deliver on the outcomes that we're working towards, and continue to be transparent and accountable to Torontonians. We use logic models to establish the outcomes we want to achieve and a balanced scorecard with key performance indicators which measures how well we're doing in meeting our goals. And this is an ongoing process, and we adjust our direction as it's needed. So this brings me to the end of my presentation, and I hope what I've been able to do today is give you a better understanding of what we're doing at TPL to transform our services and the leadership that's required to manage the change. And so to sum up, our transformation has been driven by three catalysts that, while influenced by technology, represent broader community needs and trends in the city and society. And I believe very strongly that successful transformation and change requires thoughtful and innovative management strategies to successfully lead an organization through change. And lastly, I'll say that any transformation requires you to be true to your core vision and mission, true to your roots, and delivering value and relevance to your customers. Thank you so much.